everybody, I'm Kid Cadet, joined always by the beautiful and talented Danica Jenelle.
Hello.
So if you guys haven't noticed, we have a brand new opening and we have a brand new intro song from Icarus Bell. So thank you guys so much. We love the song. But without any further ado, we're going to bring out the guests because we don't got that much time. So let's bring them out. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor and privilege to bring the one and only Riki Rachtman to the stream right now. Riki,
how are you?
I am so good. Literally, I was telling Danica earlier, and I'm sure I've mentioned it to her before a gazillion times, but you are literally the reason why I do what I do, because I saw you when I was growing up, and I was like, oh man, this guy is so cool, and he gets to hang out with rock stars. So, you know, my aspirations are just to be Riki Rachtman adjacent. And now we're going to be on the same stream. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And when I worked with you at one of the conventions a while ago, you do a great job. So
thank you.
You don't want to be anything like me, though.
Go ahead, Danica.
It is my pleasure to introduce a man that I don't think I could ever be like, because I feel like I'm not quite strong enough for this, but it is the incomparable Shane Helms.
Well, it is. How you guys doing?
We're doing awesome. This is so cool. And I'm pretty sure that I saw Riki post that the last time that the two of y'all saw each other was when you worked together in WCW. So is this true? Was that the last time you guys really crossed paths?
Yeah, sure.
We had so much fun. I was always bummed out because I didn't get used in the things that I wanted to do at WCW. And Shane was working in 3 Count at that time, which was like a boy band. And I wanted to be the manager of 3 Count. That was my dream. But instead, they had me saying that everybody should use tough acting to acting if they have athlete's foot or something like that.
Okay, so you wanted to manage 3 Count. So was that your goal, maybe coming into the wrestling scene? Did you want to be a manager, or did you know you wanted to be an interviewer?
No, I wanted to have a role. I think I would be a great heel because so many people hate me anyway. So I really wanted to do that. And I didn't want to be an interview. I remember one night, Eric Bischoff was all drunk and he's like, you're going to be the next Mean Gene. And I was like, okay, first of all, I could never be that good. And that's not what I wanted to do anyway. And then, of course, they never hired me back anyway. So it doesn't matter. But
well, that's their loss. How did you get involved in it to begin with, Riki?
This is a crazy story. You know Jason Hervey?
Not personally.
He was in the Wonder Years, and he was really good friends with Eric Bischoff, and we used to sit together at King's Games. And this was a couple years after I was off of Headbanger's Ball, and I think at the time I had just gotten arrested for punching a DJ, and I didn't really have a job. So he said, "Dude, would you love to work for WCW?" I said, "I love wrestling. I love wrestling." So that's sort of how it happened.
That's all we have to do is punch a DJ.
Exactly. But then you have to be broke for a couple of years after that, too.
So, what'd you say, Danica?
I'm already on my way.
Yay, broke. Do any moments between the two of y'all stand out from your time together in WCW?
Yeah, we were doing this thing for a while where we would go to colleges. They gave 3 Count a big tour bus. We had this big tour bus with our picture all over it that was cool as hell. And we didn't get it all the time, but we were doing something where we would do all these crazy appearances on different college campuses all over the country. And I remember being involved with our thing. That's where we saw Riki the most there. That's
where you saw Riki was on the tours?
Yeah, because he would host different things or whatever. And then, of course, seeing him at the shows or whatever. But we didn't get to work together a lot, not like actually work, like, hey, do a segment together, anything like that. So, no.
So obviously you brought up 3 Count, which is absolutely iconic. You know, Danica and I are huge into like the boy bands. We love us some NSYNC. We had Joey Fatone on here a couple weeks ago. So when you were first involved with 3 Count, how did that feel for you? Are you big into like the pop music and the boy band era?
Hell no.
Really?
I grew up on hip hop. That's all I know is hip hop. Yeah.
All you know is hip hop.
Yeah. So actually, like on the "Can't Get You Out of My Heart" song, there's a little rap solo part that's me, and because I couldn't get as high as Shannon and Evan could. They were more of a tenor, and I'm this about as high as I can get. Unless I do what's up with that? That's the only way I can get high. But so Jimmy Hart, he sang the song with us. You can kind of hear him his voice overlaid on the track. And so I would do the rapping thing. So, and sometimes at these little college tours, I would do like little rapping and stuff like that. But I was a hip hop guy. I wasn't into boy band music at all.
That's interesting, because I know like Danica and I were very curious. Like obviously, Riki, you're known for being in the rock and roll and heavy metal scene, and Hurricane. To me, you're a boy bander. So
I was only in 3 count for 9 months too. 9 months.
9 months is a long time.
20 years later, it's still 3 count. I don't know.
But that's how iconic it is, that it's still, we're still talking about it all this time later.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, of course, but is there like maybe a genre or a song or maybe a type of music that you guys would be embarrassed to admit that you listen to?
No, I don't really have guilty pleasures. I wear my heart on my sleeve. If I like it, I like it, and I don't really care. I got, my playlist, I got a little bit of country in there. I got some rock in there. I did Jericho's show a couple nights ago, Saturday, and he played Nazareth, Hair of the Dog.
Oh my God. Yes.
At the end of the show. And I know that entire CD, because as a kid, you ladies might not know what this is, but there was these things called 8-tracks. And my family I had one 8-track because that's all we could afford. And it was Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. And I knew that entire album back and forth. So when me and Jericho would travel together, and when it was my turn to put in a CD, Jericho's rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll. When it's my turn, it would be DMX or whatever. But one time I slid in Nazareth and he's just driving. He's like, "What is that?" And I was like, "I know this too." So I mean, I'm pretty diverse. I don't need other people's approval if I like stuff. So.
Well, what about an artist that's out these days that you think maybe people don't know about, but they should listen to?
There's a new hip hop artist that I've been listening to recently, Bobby J from Rockaway. If you go to my Twitter, my Instagram, and look at the guys I'm following, he's one of them. And there's an actor named Paige Kennedy, and I don't know if you guys know. He was in Weeds. He was just in that movie Megalodon or The Meg about the big shark. He raps, and he kind of like he sounds like Cool G Rap. If you guys are familiar with hip hop, that's what he reminds me of. And he's fantastic. But I think he's like having a hard time making people realize how serious he is about this new venture of his. But man, he's really good. He's one of my new current favorites.
Awesome. What about you, Riki? Any guilty pleasures or any people that we should know about that's out now that maybe many people don't?
My guilty pleasure is without a doubt, like I like old new wave. Most people don't know that. And as far as a band that I like that my friends are not into is I like My Chemical Romance. I always thought that band was really good. And my friends are like, "Dude, why are you into that like emo stuff?" I'm like, this band is really good. But as far as new bands, I mean, I don't get to hear a lot of new bands. I mean, it's mostly metal stuff. I think the new Code Orange is really good. I do listen to everything except the new rap. I think the new rap is horrible. They don't even rhyme. And I don't like that stuff at all. I like more of the old school rock.
Yeah, mumble rap isn't that good.
Terrible.
No mumble rap. Okay, so you just mentioned Code Orange, and I think they were supposed to go on tour with Slipknot, if I'm not mistaken. Where do you see the future of music going with everything going on in this world, Riki? Like, do you think we can just get back into, going to big events, going to concerts, or is it transferring to online?
Every tour keeps on getting canceled. There were several festivals that I was about to work, and I gave an idea on my podcast that I just put out today, the Triple R podcast. And I said, what is going to be the future is bringing back drive-in movie theaters. And what they can do is they can play movie theater, they can play movies, sit in their car, and then sometimes they'll have bands play. I mean, this is the worst case scenario. But lately, even though I'm like a wear a mask guy, be very careful, stay at home, I'm really starting to think that things are going to start to get back to normal sooner than later. And I'm starting to feel like I want there to be another NASCAR race. I want there to be another flat track race. I want to go see some bands play. It's like, look, I'm the guy washing my hands, wearing the mask every time I go everywhere, even if nobody else is. But I'm also that guy that's like, okay, maybe we need to start opening up some stuff.
Hey, I've been wearing a mask and telling people to stand back for 20 years. So I've been way ahead of the game. But I feel like Slipknot could perform. Don't they all wear masks?
They wear masks.
They do. I think Corey's mask has like a hole, like probably like here, so that would kind of prevent it's like backwards. But yeah, I mean, I really, I'm
Who's
curious.
the robot group? There's some group that shows up with like robot heads or whatever.
Daft Punk.
Yes, exactly.
Daft Punk. I feel like War would be good to go. Yeah, and anyone that wears like Marshmallow, I think he's a new guy.
It's not the bands that people are worried about, though. It's the fans.
Yeah,
and they're all filthy anyway. So,
but I think it's good to be optimistic, and I think things will start opening. I'm with you, Rick.
I'm not the only one that hears a dog.
Yeah, it's Attila, shut up.
Okay, so there is a dog. Okay.
Yes.
I just making sure I wouldn't have an aneurysm or anything.
No, I think you're okay. So obviously, Ricky, you had the iconic Cathouse. Was there a band that you would like to have had play at the Cathouse that you never had the opportunity to have?
Every band did play there. If I was going to think what band would I have liked to have play there, I mean, the Rolling Stones. I can't think. I mean, when your house band is Guns N' Roses, who are you going to pick to play the club? Everybody played there. I had Alice Cooper on Halloween.
Oh my God.
I would have to say, I mean, the Rolling Stones, because every other band that I liked had played the Cathouse. Should I kill that dog? It's not my dog that's barking, just so you know.
It's just a random dog that found its way into your home.
Oh, it's Leah's little chihuahua.
Oh. It's like a dog just wandered in. Okay, so I guess
that's my dog. Shut up, Jaga. Shut up, Attila.
Hey, just so you know, that's not annoying at all.
Yeah. How many dogs do you have in there? He's going. Temporary break. All right, so Hurricane.
In the meantime.
I guess as some of the question would be, obviously you've been in the ring with, some of the most incredible wrestlers of all time, like The Rock, Undertaker. Is there a wrestler that you would like to have a match with that you haven't as of yet?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch. I mean, there's still a lot of talented people out there that luckily I had a pretty blessed career, and I was in there with some of the greatest of all time. If there's anybody, my all-time dream, dead or alive, would have been Randy Savage, because I never got a chance. I worked with him on Ready to Rumble, which was a movie that WCW put out forever ago, but I never got to do anything with him in the ring in terms of wrestling like that. So he would have been my dream match of all time. But as far as today's product, there's a ton of people out there that, just so good.
So one of the things I always like to ask when people mention, of course, Macho Man Randy Savage, is if you have a Randy Savage impression, will you?
Ooh, yeah. I think everybody, if you can't do Savage, I don't know who can you do.
I can't.
Do a Slim Jim, yeah.
Here's a kind of funny story. One year I went to this Halloween party and I dressed up as Macho Man. And I'm friends with the drummer of the Stray Cats, right? Whose name is Slim Jim.
Oh, nice.
So he was dressed as Fred Flintstone. I was dressed as Macho Man, and I was even holding Slim Jims in my hand. And we took a picture together. And it wasn't until years till I figured, holy crap, I was Macho Man holding Slim Jims, and I'm taking a picture with Slim Jim. Like, it never dawned on me, like, I'm Macho Man, and I'm here with Slim Jim from the Stray Cats.
How surreal. Well, Danica, do you have a Macho Man impression?
Nobody wants to see that.
No, come on. I dare you.
No.
All you gotta do is get a point with your pinky.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can't do the voice.
Okay, that's a little more Carol Channing, but we'll give it to you.
I remember Macho Man doing things with Mean Gene, and it was like, before there were a lot of props, I just remember him like being real angry and crushing that styrofoam cup and stuff like that. He was just so great.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, so I guess this kind of goes with that. For the both of you, who is the wildest person that you guys have ever partied with?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to censor myself here because I don't want to get in trouble.
We can leave out
I don't
names.
know. I got a bunch. Flair's. If you party with Ric Flair, is generally always a story. There's always alcohol. There's always nudity. And sometimes it's not even Rick, but most of the time it is. I got a pretty, I had some pretty good Dennis Rodman stories. My life was Forrest Gump. I would just stumble into shit that I never should have been in, and I just happened to be there. And so I had quite a few of those, but I think some of those names I'm gonna have to leave out.
That's okay. We're not here to get you in trouble. It's funny. I met Dennis Rodman. There was a restaurant down the road that was actually like heavy metal themed. It has since closed, but it was a day when it was only him and I in the entire restaurant. And he just went into the kitchen and started making food and started serving himself from the bar. So I guess Dennis Rodman, you got it like that.
Hey, Ricky, did you ever do anything at the Nitro Grill?
But that in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
I think I had to have been there for like the opening or something. I remember I have an ashtray from it. That was a cigar ashtray. I remember when they opened that up.
Together sometimes, yeah. I don't even know why I just thought of that.
Well, what about you, Ricky? Craziest person you ever got to party with?
Well, of our group, probably the worst was me. But I gave up drinking and drugs since then. And I mean, I was always hanging out with Guns N' Roses, so I guess they would be the most notorious. I mean, everybody knows that, so I'm not telling anybody a secret. But I don't know. I mean, everybody was. It's like I was in the 80s, 90s rock scene, so it was like everybody was, some made it, some didn't.
I didn't get to see
I did do a party one time with a bunch of bodybuilders at the Arnold Classic. And I'm not going to mention any names, but that was the most insane scene I'd ever seen. And I remember too partying one time with this guy that was only known as the Dark Horse, and that's all we can tell you about it.
Googling, got it. Okay, so we actually have some questions. Grant wants to know, what are the best foods to cook during a quarantine?
Ramen noodles.
S'mores.
What did you say, Ricky? S'mores?
S'mores.
Ooh.
Well, now I'm by myself, so now I'm going to be by myself in this house for a month, so I have no idea what I'm going to eat. I'm really good at making coffee and cereal.
We've been DoorDash. My DoorDash bill is higher than my mortgage rent right
now. What's your go-to DoorDash food?
There's a couple around here. That one's called 3 Olives. It's a pizza place. I guess it's not a national chain, but it's incredible. It's my favorite pizza. There's a place called Highway 55. That's mainly burgers. And for the kids, they bring the burgers out, and there's these little old style cars like from the 60s or 70s, like what Christine was, whatever they call. I don't give a shit about cars.
Yeah.
Whatever Christine was. It'll be like convertibles, and the hamburger and French fries will be in there. Reminds me of that place in Pulp Fiction, whatever. Johnny Rockets or something like that.
Oh, what is Jack Rabbit Slim?
Jack Rabbit Slim.
Jack Rabbit Slim. Boom. Don't be a square.
Yeah. Has there ever been a project that has ever been offered to either of you that you've had to turn down because it just was so ludicrous?
Porn.
Well, huh?
I had to turn down this porn offers.
Oh. Okay, that's fun.
That's not my thing. Sorry.
Okay. And Ricky, can we talk about your love for NASCAR? Was that something that started when you were a kid, or was that something that started later in life?
No, I've always been a NASCAR fan, and living in Hollywood, that really didn't go over so well because I would try to talk NASCAR with people. So I was just going to races, and then I used to say, you know what, one day I'm going to get a job in NASCAR. And I just weaseled my way into working in the sport. And now I've been talking about it on the radio for 17 years. I've worked with NASCAR.com, with Speed Channel. I worked for a couple racetracks. And it's my two loves in the world were rock and roll and racing. And I've been blessed to find jobs in both of them because I don't know how to do anything else. So I've always been a hardcore NASCAR fan.
Hurricane, have you ever been to a NASCAR race?
No, and I'm good friends with Hermie Sadler and his.
Hermie's great.
Yeah, they're right up in Emporia, Virginia, about 2 hours from me. We used to party at every Christmas. He used to throw this big Christmas party. But no, I've never actually been to a NASCAR race. But it's one of the things I need to check off the bucket list.
Call me, we'll go. I'll take you. I'll hook you up.
Sounds good, man.
Oh my gosh, I love that. If I remember correctly, I think I was reading that they're actually going to be starting to do races pretty soon. Is that true?
Sunday, they've got 7 races planned, but no fans are allowed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And is it just kind of like business as usual besides the no fans, or no?
The crews are small. This is what's crazy. They've been off of NASCAR. There's been no NASCAR for over 2 months. and they get there, and it's in Darlington, South Carolina. They get there, they don't practice, they don't qualify, they get in the car and race. It's going to be insane. No, nothing. And they haven't been in cars for 2 months. So that should be pretty insane.
Is there
That's
like
gonna be pretty cool because you don't need an audience to race. Like I watched UFC this past Saturday without an audience. It didn't bother me at all. As a matter of fact, I kind of preferred it. I can watch football without an audience. I can watch baseball. That's not audience engagement. Pro wrestling, unfortunately, audience is a huge part of what we do.
I agree. I watch both AEW and WWE, and there's really something missing without the fans. Huge.
Yeah, but I think NASCAR, I think I'll watch that and still be just as fine because I'm not looking at the crowd. You can't hear chants and shit anyway. So,
is there a particular racer, Riki, that you always root for, or a brand?
Since I've been working in the sport, it's harder because I like a lot of them. You know, Ryan Blaney's a cool dude. I mean, I know if I start naming some, there's some I'm going to leave out, but I like a lot of the guys. It was just since I started working in the sport, it became harder to root for them because so many of them are my friends.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Actually, Danica, I think we should play the game now. What do you think, Danica? Since we're talking about NASCAR. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
So for every stream, we kind of tailor a game to our guests. So this game is called Rockstar, Wrestler, or Racer. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a nickname for either a rock star, wrestler, or racer. And you have to tell us which of the three it is. Does that make sense?
Do we just yell it out or we wait for our turn?
I think we can. I think we'll just yell it out.
Yeah.
All
right. So here we go. Here's the first one. Who is nicknamed the Ox? Is it a wrestler, rock star, or racer? The Ox.
I would have to say wrestler, but I'm guessing.
Your guess is wrestler. What about you, Hurricane?
I'm going to go with Rockstar.
Rockstar? Okay, so Rockstar is correct. He's actually the bassist from The Who. His nickname was the Ox. We're learning things here. All right, point one. I'm not actually keeping score, but you got to.
He beat me on a rock question.
It's okay. All right, Danica.
Ready for question two. All right. Whose nickname is Brewster? Is that a rock star, wrestler, or racer?
Is what?
Brewster.
Are you saying Brewster like brew coffee?
Like chicken.
Brewster.
Any guesses?
I'm going to go with Rockstar, I guess.
I'm going to go with racer, but I don't know who it would be.
Racer is correct. That is actually Riki Rudd.
They didn't call Riki Rudd the Rooster.
Apparently they did, because when we Googled it, that's what it said.
I did not know that.
Yeah. All right. Here's the next one. Wonder Boy. Whose nickname was Wonder Boy?
Jeff Gordon.
Oh, there you go. Right off the bat.
Correct. All right, Hurricane. Danica, go for the next one.
Next one is The Cleaner.
Wrestling. Kenny Omega.
Oh, there you go. You even got the name right. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Here's another fun one. The Funkasaurus.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Paris.
Yeah. Go ahead, Danica.
All right. We've got next the Pope of Mope.
Of Mope?
Yes.
Pope of Mope.
Well, there is a Pope wrestler, but he's not of Mope, so I'm going to go with Rockstar on that one.
I'm going to go with Rockstar too.
You'd be correct because that is Morrissey.
Oh, well, he sucks. I hate Morrissey so much.
Okay, wait.
He's the worst.
Hey, if they suck, it doesn't count, right?
Oh my God. I tweeted about him the other day about that song by the Smiths that sounds like what a headache feels like.
Oh my God.
Oh, I hate the Smiths.
Okay, forget that one. That one never happened. But thank you for the side rant. Okay. How about this one, which hopefully Riki Rachtman does not hate? The All-American American.
Wrestling, Jack Swagger.
That is correct.
Right. All right. Our next one is the Motor City Madman.
Wrestling.
No, Ted Nugent.
There it is. Yes, it's Ted Nugent.
Oh, I was thinking about Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we have, and I think someone in the comments already said, we have Wonder Boy. Wait. Never mind. We already did the one. Mr. Excitement.
NASCAR. Jimmy Spencer.
That's correct.
Very good. All right. The next one we've got is the brain.
Wrestling. Bobby
Wrestling.
Heenan.
There it is.
All right. Next is
You don't know Bobby Heenan. Come on now.
I got to talk to him backstage when I was with WCW, and that was so awesome. He was great. Him and Gene, they were so great.
definitely two of the best. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
And
without a
Gorilla
doubt.
Monsoon. Love them. All right. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, how about this one? The Toxic Twins.
Aerosmith, Steve and Joe.
That's correct.
Mhm.
I have a twin phobia, so I stay away from twins.
Do you? Okay, we're learning so much here. Twin
Yeah.
phobia. All right.
All right. Our next one. You might know this one. Mr. Dynamite.
Mr. Dynamite.
Yes. Rockstar, racer.
In any event, he's a legend.
Mr. Dynamite. Rockstar.
I was going to guess wrestler.
So it's one of his many nicknames for James Brown.
Was
All right.
what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of his many nicknames. Yeah.
All right. How about simply the Kid?
Racing, right?
I didn't hear what you said. It broke up.
The
Kid?
Kid,
Like a child, like Kid Cadet, but
but not me. The Kid.
I can't hear you.
Sean Walkman was the Kid at one time, so he could.
I
he
can't
was-
hear what you said. What did you say?
The Kid.
The Kid?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be wrestling?
Well, okay, let's see. For the Kid, we have Mark Martin. Is that a NASCAR driver?
Yeah, but he would have been. I don't know when he was a kid. It would have been a long time ago.
Yeah, these are all over the different decades. All right, Danica, next one.
all right. Our next one is the Kentucky Gentleman.
Rockstar. Anything I don't know, I would just say Rockstar.
I guess I don't know. I mean, I might guess racing, but it's somebody old.
This one is actually a wrestler. It's Chuck Taylor.
The Kentucky Gentleman?
Yes, the Kentucky Gentleman. All right, up next we have the Intimidator.
Dale Earnhardt. I got a 3 tattoo right there.
Let's see it. Oh, we also have to see your new Motorhead tattoo.
Oh, it's on my leg.
Oh gosh, okay,
Oh,
that's awesome.
yeah.
I did it right where I'm sitting here 2 days ago.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we'll have to talk about Lemmy when we're done with this game. All right, Danica, you got the next one.
Our next one is the Beast from the East.
Wrestling. That's Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, up next we have the Iceman.
That's NASCAR. Is it Terry Labonte?
Yeah, correct.
There's a wrestler called Iceman too, so
Who is it?
Iceman King Parsons.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
noted. All right, Danica.
Next one, the Fallen Angel.
Wrestling Christopher Daniels.
Nice.
It's true.
Good
Okay,
one.
up next we have the Thunder God.
I guess that would be Kiss.
Rockstar.
Rockstar.
It's Rockstar. It's actually the drummer from Def Leppard.
Oh,
Okay, and Danica, we
All
have
right.
one final one,
Mhm.
which we want to know which way your brains go with this because it could be any of them.
okay. I'll tell you what you're going to say.
What?
You're going to say the Butcher.
Not the Butcher. No, even though I think there's a wrestler in AEW that's the Butcher, right?
And you know what? The Butcher in AEW is also the guitarist in the band Every Time I Die.
Right. Yeah.
No.
But we're actually going to ask who you first think of for the King.
Richard Petty.
Wrestling.
Oh, or Lawler. But
Or
it's Richard
Lawler?
Petty.
It's either Jerry Lawler or Richard Petty.
But it's
or
Richard
Elvis,
Petty before it's Jerry
Elvis,
Lawler.
Or Elvis, so it's all three.
Yes.
I have a 43 tattoo as well.
You have what do you have?
A 43 tattoo as well.
So are most of your tattoos what? NASCAR, rock and roll?
No, those are the only 2 NASCAR tattoos I have. They're just crap. I have a Carolina Panthers tattoo.
Yeah?
Yay. Speaking of North Carolina, there is a question that I wanted to ask because, before we went live, we found out that both of you now live in North Carolina. So what would you say as someone who used to live there? What is your favorite thing about North Carolina?
It's just home for me. So. I don't know if there's one particular.
I like the lake. I like the lake, but I like Southern hospitality. The people in the South are different. I mean, there's things about people in the South that I don't like, but for the most part, I like people that are polite and say hello.
I like that too.
They said cookout or Bojangles.
Oh, I love Bojangles. Holy crap. The best thing in the world. For my birthday, me and Leah sat on my boat eating Bojangles. She showed up. When you see this hot girl with tattoos with this big bucket, big box, this yellow, say it's bow time, nothing is better than that. That was the ultimate birthday. Just biscuits, and Bowberry biscuits are the best tasting thing on earth. On earth.
I talked about this on Twitter a bunch. At my gym, the stoplight to turn into my gym, there's a Bojangles right on the corner.
That's
and
neat.
so I can't tell you how many times I've been at that stoplight, and I'm supposed to make that left to go to the gym, but I make the right.
Yeah.
Love Bojangles.
I feel like the only times I ever get to eat it are like it's at the Charlotte airport, right? I think they have like
Airport Terminal B.
okay. Well, thank you.
That's how much I go there. Anytime I got a layover in Charlotte, I make a beeline.
For Bojangles.
Yep.
Okay, so Riki, obviously we previously mentioned Lemmy, and I want to know like his impact on you. A lot of people in the rock and roll industry that I've talked with have always told me that Lemmy has been literally their guiding, person. And I think even in the Twisted Sister documentary, they were talking about literally how Lemmy helped create their career. So do you have any like Lemmy stories or any way that he's impacted you?
I've got so many Lemmy stories. First of all, Motorhead was willing to play the Cathouse all the time, and Lemmy would always come through to play any special parties I had. I had a barbecue that Lemmy showed up at with these really tight shorts, and I've told this story many times, but I had this tomahawk on the wall, and he picked it off the wall and started smoking weed in it. And I just got so many Motorhead stories. I think that considering that band has been around since the mid-'70s, they were just the best. And I love that band. I mean, that's my favorite all-time band.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So if you were to, let's say, be a wrestler and you could pick any entrance theme in the entire world, would you pick a Motorhead song?
No, I'd probably pick Seek and Destroy from Metallica.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty badass. And okay, so Hurricane, did you have any say in your theme when you came to the WWE?
Yeah, at first, because I used a hip hop song in WCW, a song that was based off of Old Dirty Bastard from the Wu-Tang Clan. So they gave me a hip hop beat when I came to WWE, but once I became the superhero, it didn't really fit for me. And so I went and asked them, and they made me a superhero theme. And then when I turned heel, and this was 2005 or whatever, and I was just mean and angry and all that shit, I gave them Shut 'Em Down from Public Enemy. And I said, I want something like this. I want something to get me in the mood. And the It's Time theme, which that's the name of the song, It's Time. It doesn't really sound as much like Shut 'Em Down as, you would think, since I suggested that, but it has the mentality of Shut 'Em Down. You hear the song, it makes you want to beat somebody's ass. And it put me in a good mood, because the theme they had before that, for me, was depressing. I'd be all amped up behind the curtain, ready to do my thing. And then that song would play, and I'd be like, shit. Like, it just, to me, it sucked the energy out of me. And I'm like, that's not good for the crowd. If I can't even feel it, there's no way that they can feel it. So that's why I went with the Shut 'Em Down idea.
Do you have any pre-match rituals?
Yeah, I always say a little prayer for my safety and stuff like that. A kind of a little mantra thing, just to warm up. But nothing like, I don't wear my socks inside out or anything like that. I got these little elbow pads that I wear, and they're not even really pads, but they just cover my elbows. And if I don't have them on, I lose my mind. And I just like, oh shit, what's my little thing? And like, I never like hurt my elbows or anything like that, but I just need those little black elbow pads for whatever reason. But nothing real superstitious, anything like that.
Are people wearing their socks inside out? Like, is that a thing?
Yeah, like with baseball, I would hear about baseball players doing all kind of weird shit. And there's several athletes throughout the years I heard something about certain kind of socks that they did accidentally put their socks on inside out, and then they had the game of their life. So now it's in their mind. That's what did it. And sometimes it works. If it works, if you believe it works, then do what you got to do. You know, that's what coaches would tell them.
I think like Babe Ruth used to put like a lettuce leaf underneath his cap or something. Maybe that was some kind of superstition, or maybe I know nothing about sports and I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, that was just a really bad toupee.
Lettuce toupee.
So since we only have
times were hard back then.
Since we only have a few minutes left, my friend Jim had messaged me earlier, and he's also posting in the comments, and he wanted to know, Hurricane, about traveling on the road with Lance Storm during your WWE days. If you have any stories you can share with us.
Just Lance was dad. Lance was always meticulous. He would print out the maps because this was, we traveled before. Everybody's got the phone with a GPS now. We didn't always have that, kids. We had these big Rand McNally atlases we would have to buy and flip through them. And then like when MapQuest came out, Lance would get online and he would always have, turn by turn, just pages and pages of instructions to get to the next town. But the weird thing is he would never get it to go to the arena. He would get it to go to the town. So then we would get to town and we'd have to pull up at some gas station. And I was always like, why don't you just get it to go to the building? Instead of me keep having to get out and go ask for directions. Because sometimes, like if you go to Louisiana, I know one time we had to go to the Cajun Dome, and this was WCW, but just to give you that Cajun accent, you don't know what they're saying. Like I recognize my accent's unique, so I'm not picking on it. But I walked in this gas station, and I guess it was the Cajun Dome or whatever it was. I said, hey, I asked him, and this is what I heard. So forgive the language, because the only thing I understood was GD. He goes, well, goddamn, boy, how many hold up hand? And goddamn, and then who? And there, it's right there. You're right there. And I was just like, oh, shit. And I just went out to the car and I said, y'all going to have to go in there because I don't know what the hell that was.
Oh, my God.
But that was the best thing about Lance. He wouldn't get us to the building, get us to the town, but no bad stories because he's a great guy. So,
well, Danica, you studied accents. So what is that accent? Like the one in Louisiana?
Is it like Southern Louisiana?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that French, it's that Cajun French heavy, thick accent where
that's
Southern French ghetto.
Yeah, if they're white, it's something called yat. It is. It's called yat because when they say like instead of saying how are you doing, they say all right, hi yat.
Yeah.
Or they say where yat.
Where yat.
Yeah. They combine 3 to 4 words into one and.
Yep.
Yacht. Well, since we only have a couple minutes left, is there anything that you guys want to plug before we have to wrap this up? Riki, I know you have a couple podcasts. I know you got to go do one right now.
Yes, I have the Triple R podcast, which has just everybody, different types of guests. We had Duff from Guns N' Roses, Rami from the Foo Fighters, just talking about quarantine. And then I've got the Cathouse Hollywood podcast, which is just all old stories about Guns N' Roses and David Bowie and all these crazy things that happen in my club. And it's just Cathouse Hollywood podcast or the Triple R podcast.
Nice.
What about you, Hurricane?
Well, I still do Highway to Helms. I'm 10 years running with that silly thing. The only difference now is I don't do any guests. I stopped doing guests a couple years ago because I took after Bill Burr. I listened to Bill Burr's podcast. He didn't have any guests. And I was like, you know what? That seems a lot easier. And so I just do it myself. It's a lot easier on the brain. So I still have a lot of fun with doing that. But Highway to Helms, and I'm Shane Helms.com on all social media. So I'm the most interactive and overactive pro wrestler there's ever been.
Well, I think once this is all said and done, Danica and I are going to make a trip out to North Carolina, and we're all going to get Bojangles.
We should all go together.
Yeah. Let's go get Bojangles. But I think we did it. So you guys, thank you so much again. Danica, anything you want to plug before we wrap it up?
Theater Nerd Podcast. Check us out. We're nerdy.
And next week we have Mike Rome and we have Damian Leone, who's the writer and director of the film Terrifier. So make sure to check back next week. We have another stream tomorrow about comic books, which is incredible, with Patty Hawkins and Mike Broder. So make sure to check that out, and make sure to check out GalaxyCon.com to find out about all the upcoming streams. So I think we did it, y'all. Thank you guys so much again.
Thank you, everybody.
Great catching up.